All right, Orange, I have to ask, have you thought about what happens when the internet stops being built for us?
For us? Like, for humans?
Exactly. There's this incredible article from TechCrunch by Rebecca Bellin. The internet is being rebuilt for machines. And it's honestly one of those pieces that makes you go, whoa, when you step back and think about it.
You've got my attention. What's the big idea?
So right now, every piece of cloud infrastructure, servers, databases, search systems, it's all designed around human behavior patterns. We click, we scroll, we stream. It's predictable, steady. But here's where it gets wild. AI agents behave completely differently. They spin up multiple sub-agents, query hundreds of databases, search documents, call APIs in seconds, and then just vanish, like a flash mob for data.
That's actually a really vivid image. So our current infrastructure just isn't built for that kind of traffic pattern.
Bingo. And the numbers are staggering. Cloudflare reports that bots already account for 31% of all HTTP traffic, and a quarter of those are AI crawlers specifically. Their senior product manager, Lai Olson, made a prediction that honestly floored me. Non-human traffic will exceed human traffic sometime in the first half of 2027.
Let me just let that sink in. By next year, most of the activity on the internet will be machines talking to machines.
Yes! And that's what this article is really about. Amazon AWS just launched a new generation of OpenSearch serverless. And this isn't just a product update. It's a fundamental redesign for an agentic world. The key innovation? They've decoupled compute from storage. So when agents trigger tasks, compute scales up in seconds. When agents go idle, it scales to zero. You pay nothing when nothing's happening.
Wait, so it's like the difference between paying rent on a parking space you're not using versus paying only when you actually park.
That's literally the analogy Tia White, the GM of Amazon OpenSearch Service, used in the article. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Great minds think alike. But what's the bigger picture here? Is this just an AWS thing?
Not at all. The article lays out that this is happening across the entire cloud industry. Databricks and Snowflake are both repositioning themselves as AI memory and retrieval systems. Microsoft has updated Azure to handle agent bursts and share memory between agents. Cloudflare introduced infrastructure for agent persistence. Everyone is racing to build for a world where the primary consumer of infrastructure isn't a human clicking around, it's an agent making autonomous decisions.
It really does change the economics though, doesn't it? If you're an enterprise looking to deploy agents at scale, the cost structure shifts dramatically when you're not paying for idle compute.
Exactly. And that's the flywheel effect the article hits on. The more companies deploy AI agents, the more pressure there is to redesign infrastructure for machine workloads. Better infrastructure makes agents cheaper and easier to deploy, which leads to more agents, which leads to more infrastructure redesign. It's a self-reinforcing cycle.
So what does this mean for the typical enterprise leader listening right now? If I'm a CIO or an operations director, what's my takeaway?
3 things. First, agent traffic patterns are fundamentally different from human traffic. If you're building enterprise systems, you cannot just throw more servers at the problem. You need infrastructure designed for burst and idle patterns. Second, the major cloud providers are all moving in this direction, so your architecture decisions today matter. Choosing a platform that supports agent-native infrastructure will compound in value over the next 18 months.
And third?
Excitedly. Third, this transition is happening faster than most people realize. The prediction that machine traffic overtakes human traffic in 2027 isn't some distant future. That's next year. Organizations that start designing for agent-native infrastructure now will have a massive advantage over those that wait.
I love that you managed to drop the phrase agent-native infrastructure with a straight face. But you're absolutely right. And I think the most powerful idea here is that the internet itself is being reshaped around agents. We're not just adding AI to existing systems, we're rebuilding the foundation.
That's the perfect way to sum it up. The internet is being rebuilt for machines. And the really exciting part is that we get to help shape what that looks like.
So keep an eye on your cloud bills, start thinking about burst versus idle design patterns, and remember, when you hear about machine traffic overtaking human traffic by 2027, that's not a dystopian headline, it's just the next phase of infrastructure evolution.
And maybe, just maybe, stop paying for parking spaces you're not using.
I walked right into that one.
Excitedly. That's all for today's episode of Beyond Prompting. We'll be back tomorrow with another deep dive into the ideas shaping how we work with AI agents. Until then, keep building, keep questioning, and keep pushing past the prompt.
Subscribe if you haven't already. Drop us a comment with your thoughts on machine-dominated traffic. We genuinely read every single one. See you tomorrow.